Hello to anyone who happens to see this video, including my sister who found my YouTube channel. What the fuck's up? I am walking my dog. It's cold out. So my cervix is doing funny things. I have had, I don't know, we'll get to that, ASCUS, which I don't remember what it stands for, but it's basically abnormal cells on my cervix. Which isn't particularly great, but I mean, what can you do about it? If you watch Samantha Ravindell, she also had this happen to her. She did like a 45-minute video on it. Hers ended up being precancerous, I believe. Mine I don't think is, because they haven't called me back. Sorry, baby! So yeah, atypical cells on my cervix. Typically, this is something caused by HPV, which is technically an STD or STI, whatever you want to call it. I had texted my ex-boyfriend after my pap test came back abnormal. That's how you get, if you get this out, you get a pap test. Comes back abnormal. I just had a routine pap. In June of 2021, it came back abnormal. My doctor asked if I was comfortable talking to my ex-boyfriend to find out if there's potential of me having HPV. He says he never cheated on me or anything, so that there wasn't a potential. I don't really believe him, but that's a whole other story to get into. So yeah, I told my doctor that it was most likely not HPV, so he's like, well, we're not gonna bother really worry about that. We'll just test you again, like do another pap in 6 months, which was December. So leading up to that, I hooked up with a guy and I bled on him and his white bed sheets. So I was like, well, something's wrong. That's not good. This is like 2 weeks before my pap anyway, maybe 3 weeks. And then I hooked up with him a second time and bled on him again. This was like a week later. So I was like, okay, something's definitely wrong. So that's not good. So I ended up going to my doctor, and like I continued bleeding, like spotting, up until my doctor's appointment, which was 2 weeks after that. So that was weird, not good. So I explained to my doctor, was like, oh, I'm bleeding. He's like, is there potential of you being pregnant? I'm like, well, technically, because like active, but not likely because birth control and condoms. So there's that. So we did a second pap test, and that was December 13th, and it is now January 18th today of 2022. And they never called me, and I didn't get anything in the mail. So typically, if you have an abnormal pap, they will send you something in the mail about cervical screening, like cervical cancer screening, just because they have to kind of basically cover their ass. And like at my last pap, the one I had in December, I did ask my doctor, like, is there potential of being cancer? He's like, no, we know for sure it's not cancer. But I was like, is there potential of it being precancerous? Because I had already watched Sam Ravindell's video about this, and that's what her situation is. He's like, well, yes, technically it could be precancerous. He's like, but honestly, don't lose sleep about it. If it comes back abnormal still, you will have to go have a cervical, I can never say it, colposcopy? I always want to say colonoscopy, and that's not what it is. I think it's colposcopy. Essentially, it's a cervical biopsy. But I never got a call back from my doctor after that. Like I said, it's now January 18th, so it's been over a month. And I didn't get anything in the mail, at least I haven't yet. So that's promising. That means usually if you don't get a call back, that means it's a good thing. It means it's normal, from my understanding. So hopefully everything is good and okay. But yeah, I've just been super stressed about that lately. And like it also makes like TMI, but like I'm trying to live like my best whole life right now because I was in a relationship for 5.5 years. If you are one of my like regular 30 viewers, you know this because you saw my like mental breakdown in the spring. So yeah, like I was in a relationship for 5.5 years, so like I'm kind of trying to just be a hoe, for lack of better terminology. And it's kind of not comfortable to do that when you're just casually bleeding and you don't know if you have HPV or not. In other news, I'm poor, so that's been super bad, and I've been really depressed lately because of that. Without getting too into finances, because I feel like I shouldn't talk about my money on the internet to strangers, but thanks to CERB, which is the Canadian emergency benefit for COVID, I was getting like $2,000 a month, and I thought I was going to have to pay back a lot of money for last year's tax season, and I didn't, which was fortunate. I actually got $95 back and didn't owe anything, which was really good. So from my initial savings and then my CERB savings, I had quite a substantial amount of money. Now this year, of course, again, I went through a breakup, so I'm paying rent by myself and not with my significant other, like former significant other. So that's money. And then of course my car insurance, my gym membership. I went back to the pole studio. If you know, I do pole fitness, which is kind of expensive as well. So I'm doing pole fitness because that makes me happy and stuff. So there's all that money coming out, and then like pets and stuff, just money coming out of everywhere. Anyway, so I feel like I might have some form of manic depression type situation. I don't really know. I haven't done a lot of research on it, and I also I'm not really well versed on other mental health problems aside from anxiety and depression. But basically, I spent all of my money, like all of it. And when I say that, I mean I have about $160 in my bank account, in my savings account, and I owe about $700 on my credit card, which isn't great. Don't know how I'm paying rent next month. And a large part of this is the job I had been working. So I was working at a greenhouse, which was seasonal. I got laid off. I went back from my previous job in retail, and she just cut all my hours. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. She just said I didn't have the availability, even though I did. I was available 5 days a week. I did do a second job at a fitness facility. So anyway, she cut all my hours back. So I was like, okay, well, whatever. I need to go find another job because I need to make it through the holidays, and I don't have any money. And I was only getting 1 or 2 shifts a week, and they were like 3 to 4 hour shifts. So like I was making no money, and it's minimum wage. So I got a job at Bath and Body Works, and I worked there seasonally. But again, I started late November, so I only really worked December. So, you know, I made a little bit of money there, but not enough. And now I'm still at Bath and Body Works. So I'm only working 1 shift a week, and I'm only getting like 3 hour shifts, like 5 to 8 kind of thing. Like it's really, really bad. Like, unfortunately, they kept me on. And then, like I said, I also am working at a fitness facility, but of course it's an indoor fitness facility, so it's closed right now. So it's not even open for me to even have that little extra income, even though I only worked there like 1 or 2 a week. Again, like 3 hour shifts. So I'm just not doing great with money. I've applied at a bunch of places, and I haven't heard anything back from anywhere. So I'm stressed out because of that. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to pay rent next month, or my car insurance, or my gym membership, or anything. Fortunately, my dad is my landlord, so if I can't pay rent, it's not the end of the world. But like, I've never not paid rent, so it also just feels really shitty, and it's stressful because I also, like I said, I still have my credit card to pay off and stuff. So that's another thing going on in my life that just makes me feel like garbage. So things are not great right now. They are not great. I just saw a couple of deer playing, and I don't know if I got any pictures or videos of them. I don't know where they went. I'm trying to find them. It was really cool. I saw them down at the bottom of the hill because I'm on top of the hill right now. And at first I thought it was a vehicle, or then I thought it was a person like falling on ice or something, because I could hear them on ice. And then they came running up the hill, but I don't know where they went. And I'm like a little scared because like deer are really big, and I got my dog with me. But also, it'd be really cool to see them. I don't know where they went. Kind of cheered me up though.